What is going on, guys? Name's D3. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video where we're going to do two things here. We're going to go ahead and build probably the best teams, I will say. There's a lot of wiggle room for swapping in and out sub units, which we'll talk about in the middle of this. But for both Global and Japan, of course, so the units are going to be a little bit different in that regard. But on top of that, this is specifically for SS4 Vegeta if you pulled him. So tomorrow, come back, I'll have one for Omega Shenron. I have to sit there and break it down, but I'm showing three different team builds. We're showing Mono Tech, Mono Hero, along with, last but not least, Gogeta's team. Now, of course, the leader skill is to be released on Global, so I'm going to be building that team functioning under the assumption that it gets released today, which it obviously may not be and probably most likely will not be. In fact, I'm almost certain it won't be for a while. Which I'll talk about that in a separate video. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first one that you see is Global's Mono Tech variant. So it's featuring SS4 Gogeta as lead, or no, excuse me, SS3 Gotenks as lead because he's a 70% leader. SS4 Gogeta is on the team. Because right now, once again, this is functioning under the assumption he doesn't have the leader. You have Tech Vegeta there, Super Saiyan Bardock, who does not awaken yet on this version of the game, along with the SS Goku, LR Goku, and Trunks there. So let's talk about viable replacement options. Of course, the TUR LR Goku is a solid option there. You can basically run, honestly, any of these units. This is looking at the Japan database, so there are units here that are available here that are not actually available on Global yet, like this Goku. He should be coming soon, though. Merge Zamasu is a sneaky good option, even though he lowers your allies' attack 10%. Is not that big of a deal because his damage output by himself more than makes up for that output, so keep that in mind. You can always go a Tech variant way by running units like this Tech Golden Frieza, Tech Pikkon, Tech Whis. You can go that way and sub out some of these Saiyans if you want to go more of a build like that. It is good that Gogeta has shocking speed, so it adds a little bit more relevance to a build like that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because the team is tanky enough with LR Goku, with Vegeto's passive, with the Bardock ceiling, with Gogeta's ability to counter super attacks at a high rate, with Gogeta's ability to raise his own defense, and of course you factor in potential system and all that, which of course varies from player to player. Could be a possibility that the team is good enough as is. This Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue unit there is a solid option to sub in. If you don't have one of these guys as well, he gets a high attack and defensive improvement. He unfortunately has the Rebirth link instead of a link such as Fierce Battle. We'll always say that's a shaft because 99% of the time it is. Some units it actually is good to have the Rebirth link instead on, but either way, different discussion. Ss3 Vegeta can be a unit that you run on the team. This guy right here, problem with him is lack of key links, so he does kind of hurt the team's cohesiveness, in which if you look at the build already, it is kind of already lacking cohesiveness, but that's not the worst thing because this Gotenks, you really want to micromanage him a lot more than you would want to micromanage the physical Gotenks who's not available on Global yet. So that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. What would the rotations look like? Assuming that you have double, you can actually honestly feasibly take Gogeta Friend, and it would work perfectly fine because you're losing 20% to the tech types that are not the Gogeta or the Gotenks is. Well, I guess never mind. Take that back because we're functioning under the assumption he has no leader skill, so it's just to be released. And to all the people running him as their lead, I keep seeing him. It's like, I know you're trying to show off because he's not doing anything for you on Global. I still don't have him. I haven't tried to pull aside from the video that you guys saw, so I'll get back to that maybe tomorrow. But you can run a rotation of Gogeta and Gotenks on one, and either probably the second best option for that would be Goku and Bardock because they're so good together on this team. So that's the Global Mono Tech variant. Let's go ahead and move to the JP one. I have them separated by the available fusion list that would work for Gogeta's leader skill when it's dropped. So, this is actually not the right build. That's their regular build. This is the tech build. Okay, so this one's a little different because now you have the 120% leader Goku, right? So that Goku offers everybody on this team 120% up, and he offers them 3 key to all stats, 120%. So your Gogeta's going to hit a lot harder. Gotenks is still a staple on this team. Of course, this is the Japanese variant, which actually is missing somebody. I didn't even notice it until now. They should be running Tech SS3 Adult Gotenks or Teen Gotenks, whatever. but she's not on here. Maybe it's because it's the global database. This is weird. So I drop off probably the Bardock for the adult SS3 Gotenks in his stead, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Either way, you have 2 support units to capitalize on the immense amount of damage that you're going to be outputting with a 120% leader. Of course, we know Gogeta, he's going to counter super attacks. Vegito is going to be buffing defense. Also, TN is there because he offers 40% attack and defense to all allies and 3 keys. So once again, they're all going to be really tanky in that regard. So I guess you may not need that extra hitter. Bardock may be another option because he seals, but keep in mind that these newer events don't let you seal them. So that kind of can get lost. You might as well just run another hitter in that regard. So once again, SS3 Adult Gotenks slides into that slot easily. And as far as sub options, same thing applies to this team as the other one. Now, there is a bit of a stipulation. Since this Goku is the super tech leader, not the extreme tech leader that's basically heroes versus villains. If you scroll in here, you'll see kind of what I mean. Extreme techs versus super techs. Extreme tech on Frieza, super tech on Beerus. You know what I'm saying? So since Goku offers 120% up to super types, but only 50% up to all stats and 1 key, so they have a key shaft for the extreme types, if they're on his team, you would want to stick mainly to hero type units, in which we're going to go ahead and sort it that way so I can show you guys some available units that you could sub in. Of course, a super sub option would be LR Goku, who's not actually showing on this list. Once again, that SS3 Gotenks is an option if you have him. He's not available on global at all, so keep that in mind. If you want to go for more of a shocking speed variant, you can do that as well. So you could drop off probably Bardock. You could drop off Gotenks as well if you truly want to. I'd probably keep these 2 on the back. At the very least, drop off the TN, or excuse me, the Vegeta and keep the Vegito and keep the TN for his key buff. You can include Tech Pycon here, Tech Whis, who's available in here somewhere. He has an awakening right below right here, Tech Whis. And also you can run Tech Beerus. A lot of viable options for replacements, but mainly this comes down to the same thing. Future Gohan could be a sneaky, solid option in this team, but once again, that Rebirth Link isn't the best option, but I will give him a little bit of credence because he has Prepare for Battle, and a lot of the other units on the team, as it is currently constructed, do have Prepare for Battle. One thing to keep in mind with this team is that this SS3 Gotenks, he really does not want to be at 12 key. The physical one can manage it. The tech one cannot. He does not want to be there, but unfortunately, he's basically forced to always be at 12 key on this team. It's not the worst thing. He basically goes from hitting for like 1 million to like 700,000. So you're still doing good damage, but it's like, it's very noticeable. So keep that in mind with this build. So now that we've gone over the tech ones, we're going to move over to the SS. No, I don't want to do that one yet. We'll do this one first. The hero one, right? So the hero one's actually a little bit more fun. Close out of this. The hero build is a little bit more fun because there's a lot more room for option. So keeping in mind that, of course, Vegito Blue is the hero leader. And secondly, this Rage Trunks is a hero leader as well. They're the only 2 ones in the game, Rainbow hero leaders. So you can feasibly run this team as it is currently constructed for global sub options. You can sub in, I mean, you can sub in LR Gohan if you have him, right? You can sub in LR Gohan feasibly. I wouldn't bother with LR Piccolo unless you are lacking a unit, which, by the way, if you're lacking units, don't feel like you have to purposely try to match these teams identical. That is why I'm giving you out sub options. Now keep in mind, I cannot mention every single possible unit, so it's going to have to be up to you, right? These videos are to empower you to be able to make informed decisions on what other units you can feasibly put into one of these unit slots. I'm just showing you basically like the best possible, operating under the assumption that we have every unit available, because I understand everybody's boxes are different. Hell, even I don't have all these units available. So keep that in mind. So what can you do for replacements, right? Of course, LR Gohan, he's a thing. This Gogeta is not a thing, but when he is, he'll replace the STR one because they have the same name. Goku's not a thing yet, but he'll come into here probably for Vegito. You don't need a whole lot of defense for the way that the team is currently built, because you have Vegito, you have 2 Vegito Blues, you have Goku and Vegeta who can tank moderately well on this team, not as well as they would on their 120% leads with them on the team. Gogeta, who tanks solidly and counter super attacks, which the other 2 SS4s counter super attacks as well. So you don't need a whole lot more defense. You can actually swap out the Vegito for Tech Gotenks, for example. You could probably drop this guy here at the top to run Rage Trunks and then put Vegeta Blue on the team instead of regular Vegeta with a Rage Trunks lead. So you get more of a stat increase because he offers 70% up, albeit he only does one key, but 70% up instead of the 50%. So you can do something like that, drop off Vegito. Vegito's a timeless wonder, incredible unit, but he doesn't need to be here. Other sub options, I would just focus on units that have Prepare for Battle or Shocking Speed, especially if you have the SS4 trio at the bottom, because they link very well. Another bunch of solid units that you can focus on would be units with Prepare for Battle and Fierce Battle, such as maybe this Gohan. He's very solid for his self-sufficiency. The GT Trunks is actually very good. GT is a very sneaky good link on this team if you have the other GT units on this team. Of course, LR Goku can go in there, but keep in mind he struggles for ki in a lot of scenarios unless he's paired up with that Tech Bardock that I was showing earlier. So just keep that type of stuff in mind. Categories and not really categories in regards to this. Oh, yeah, this guy. I forget this guy exists because he's only on Global. He's a very sneaky good option, too. You can actually run him very well on this team. So I'm trying to run through it because I have a lot of teams to go over, but keep in mind that there is a lot of room for wiggle room for subbing in and out some of these units. So let's go ahead and look at the Jaypee variant. So the Jaypee variant is a little bit more interesting because they have more option. So basically on the Jaypee side of thing, you're definitely running basically the 120% leads. You've got Tech Gotenks subbed out for physical Gotenks. You have SS Gogeta Intelligence there. Now you have Goku and Gogeta and Vegito Blue. Now keep in mind one other thing. Vegito Blue should be awakening to LR. I don't know if it's the same one. This is for the global side of things. If that comes to Jaypee, great. If it doesn't, oh well. But I don't know if it's the same one. Probably, most likely. Keep that in mind. So that's another option for that other team. I forgot to mention that. So same sub options apply. Now, the reason why two are over here on the side is because they're interchangeable. You do not need another Vegeta on this team. You don't need that Vegeta on the team to begin with. Why? This Gogeta lowers attack. This guy raises his defense by a lot. He is able to counter attacks with a high rate. This guy gets a nice defensive stack, is also able to counter. This guy counters with enough potential system improvement. He tanks incredibly well. Gotenks is mainly just damage. You don't really need him either, to be honest. But all three of these guys can sub in and out. I would personally, once again, run LR. If you have LR Gohan, he's definitely sliding into this team and taking this slot right here that these two are both occupying. Or Gotenks' slot. The other guys are mainly like your mainstays. They're the best units on this team. Unfortunately, Vegeta, once again, kind of gets the shaft. He's a great unit. You just don't need him. You just do not need him. Other viable options are going to be Vegito here. Like I said, if you don't have either of the Tech Gotenks, or excuse me, the physical Gotenks or the Gogeta, you can actually run their old versions in their place, right? Instead of Tech Gotenks, or excuse me, physical Gotenks, this is getting confusing. Instead of physical Gotenks, you can run Tech. Instead of Intelligence Gogeta, you can run STR. You can actually do that, and it works perfectly fine. Of course, they're not as good, but they're good enough. Intelligent Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is a unit that can actually swap into either of these teams, Global or Jaypee. Depending on the scenario, he could be very good. Kaioken Blue Goku can be very good as well, along with the Super Saiyan Blue Gokus. Of course, like I said, I can't touch on every unit. There are a lot of options. That's why I said focus on Prepare for Battle and Fierce Battle being your main links. You have to look at your own box. You have to, because I don't know what you have. I don't know what you have. Kale's actually here. That's pretty funny. Kale's really good too, but she doesn't have Fierce Battle. Kale! So that's pretty much it for the hero variants. So the last one is the Fusion Dance team. This one's actually pretty fun. Here's that Tech Gotenks I was talking about, adult one. I didn't add him for the Tech team build. I just literally forgot about him. He didn't exist for me at the moment. So this is what we got. So keep in mind something. This guy as the leader, SS4, as the leader, offers 150% to all Fusion Dance characters. That does not include Potara Fusion, so no Vegetos can be on this team and get that. Also, keep in mind that it does not stack. He does not give tech units 200% because he also gives, as a secondary part of his leader skill, tech units that are on his team 50% and 3 key. It does not stack. They're separate. If it's a Fusion Dance character, they're automatically getting the 150. If they're not Fusion Dance but they're tech unit, they're getting 50% up and 3 key. If they're neither, they're getting nothing. So keep that in mind. Doesn't stack. I keep getting that question. So what does the team look like? Of course, you have Gogeta, Of course, you have Gotenks. They're the best two non-SS4 fusions in the game. Global's variant is pretty obvious. You're going to swap out the STR one for the intelligence. You're going to swap out tech for physical Gotenks. Now, this guy, unfortunately, is not available on Global, so Global will have to compensate for that a little bit, but he definitely fits onto this team. And secondly, we have physical Gotenks, who is actually available on Global, and we have the Timeless Pandel offering 30% attack to her allies there on the team. So that support is going to be super clutch. They are going to literally go from maybe taking 1 or 2 turns to one shot to basically taking only 1 turn to beat a boss, and that's going to be really good. Now, I won't say that that'll be on like Gogeta's event where he has like 9 life bars, right? But most of the time, they'll be able to 1 turn, 2 turn a boss instead of 3 or 4 or 5 turn, because that 30% is that significant. It's like over 600,000 collective damage to the rotation that she's on. It's a lot of damage. So I may have been exaggerating a little bit, but it is definitely worth it running her there. Sub options, right? The sub options are anybody that's tech. Any unit that's tech fits here. So you could swap out Pandel for tech Vegito. You could swap out one of these units for tech Angel Goku. Tech Ss3 Gotenks once again can be there, because they still get an increase and they still go to your collective overall HP because they're there and they're getting the buff from the leader. So that's actually very easy as far as sub options. Anybody that is a tech unit, and if they are tech, if they have Fierce Battle, great. If they have Prepare for Battle, even better. If they have Fused Fighter, even better. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what it comes down to. Very, very easy. And before we get to Global, this is the database that we have of usable units for SS4 Gogeta's leader skill that are not tech types. So, well, it includes tech types, but not that portion of the category. So, you know, we have, oh yeah, these guys are solid options too. Not really Viku too much, but the Awakened Skinny and Fat Gotenks, they're actually pretty decent options. They're not super good, but they're solid options, I'll say that. So Globals, we have come to the conclusion of our videos, friends. Let's look at Globals. Like I said, it is really the same team, but you are forced to compensate a little bit because you don't have that tech Gotenks. You're running Karoli instead. I think Karoli is fantastic on this team. He gets the 150 up. He's a very solid unit. Otherwise, he can stun. But of course, like I said, stunning isn't super prevalent on these boss stages anymore, so take it with a grain of salt. Any other fusion fighter unit, other tech unit, same sub options as this team. It's pretty self-explanatory. Feel free to sub in or out whoever you do or do not have. That is perfectly fine. Like I said, come back tomorrow for the Omega Shenron variant. I think that one will be a little bit harder to do, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, well, actually, no, you don't, to be honest. His leader skill could have dropped today on Global, and they would have been able to field the exact same team as Jaypee. They could feasibly run the exact same team. So that's interesting. Maybe 1 unit difference because they didn't get that new Omega Shenron AGL/Sin, or they didn't get that Goku that came out, that SS2 Goku that goes SS3 when he awakens, the physical one. So maybe that would be the one difference. It doesn't really matter, though. But that's it. Earlier today, I uploaded a video using Super AGL against the SS4 Gogeta event. Go ahead and check that out. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you guys later on. Peace out, guys.